Hello, Millie from Millie Radio here. Thank you for visiting my channel and watching my videos. They're welcome. I'm camping at the moment. Well, yeah, having a bit of a camp off. Got some trees in the background for you. So that's nice. It's raining at the moment, so that's probably what you can hear. Hopefully it's not too noisy, so I'll just see. I'll have a listen back just to make sure it's okay. But yeah, hope you're all doing good and well, and yeah, I think things are good for you. I think it can be tough for anyone at times, or everyone at times. So yeah, hope whatever you do in your day is good, and you've had a good one. And if not, then I hope it gets better for you. I hope so. I need to, before I start going into whatever it is I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to go over from the last video that I did with me sitting with Daphs. This side is my right side. To think then, this side is my right side and this side is my left side. So for any of you that are reading body language, yeah, I'm not gonna point that out, but yeah, for any of you that are reading body language, this is my right side and this is my left side. Also as well, I do have hay fever as well. I've got some tissue this time, so yeah, I had a bit of a, sorry to be vulgar, but a snotty nose. And I didn't have any tissue, and I thought, well, I'm not stopping the video now, so I'm just carrying on. Just rubbed it all over my hand really, but hey, at least I got to do the video and get that sent out. So yeah, in this video, like, I kind of wanted to talk about Australia a little bit, and a lot of the things that have been said, maybe just try and clear that up, because yeah, there's still so many things that I'm being blamed for, looked down upon, not welcome for, basically attacked for, because of what people think about me and who the person that they think that I am, which I keep saying none of it's true, but no one seems to be really paying attention or listening to that, and nobody over the years that this has been going on. So it's been probably about a decade since I've been to Australia, and in that time I haven't displayed any of the things that people have said about me, and I thought that a decade would have been enough for you to see that, for people to see that, but it's clearly not. So I'm going to have to keep on at it and keep saying it until it stops, really, until this gets cleared up. I can understand people are going to still have their beliefs, that's up to them, isn't it? But I really want to kind of like start connecting with people again. I want to get myself back out there. I want to be able to make friends. I want to be able to date. I want to be able to date people that that see me for who I am, and that are friends with me for who I am, not this person that people have made up. So yeah, I'd like to try and get a few things cleared up, really, and also hopefully a few things stopped, because a lot of the things that people are manipulating or trying to show me are based on things that have been made up from probably not a very good place. I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. It should hold. It will just come out in a second. Hopefully not. Watch yourselves. So yeah. I also just want to say that I'm not here to upset anyone. I don't want to upset anyone, and I don't want to offend anyone. But at the same time, there are certain things that have been... sorry, my camera keeps screening off, and I don't know how to fix that, so that's something I need to look into, so I apologise if I have to keep touching the screen. So yeah. So I don't want to upset anyone. I don't want to offend anyone, and I certainly don't want to make things worse for myself. But at the same time, these things do need to be spoken about and said, and without people having a conversation with me, and none of you have, it's really difficult to fix things. Nothing's been fixed. Everything's stayed the same. If not, more things have been made up, and you know, people think worse things of me now than they did, or the same things that they did from a decade ago. And it's like, that needs to be stopped, because I've not done anything wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong, and if there is anything that I needed to have done, then I would have done it. So yeah, I don't really know how else to get that across from you, how else to get that across to you, or the people, you know, that believe these things about me. So yeah, so first I wanted to I need to try and say these in the right way. First I wanted to talk about there are some rumours that are going around that the organisation that I was a part of, the spiritual organisation that I was a part of, yeah, how do I say this? I don't think I'm trying to say it in the best way possible, you know, without being too harsh, but I don't know. So what I'm getting from lots of people turning up and doing what they're doing and trying to show me things and trying to remind me of things is that there seems to be a rumour that is going around that the organisation that I've been a part of preys on the vulnerable, and yeah, anybody vulnerable or anything, yeah, preys on the vulnerable basically. It doesn't help that they've relabelled the spiritual organisation as a cult. Yeah, I think when you change that wording, like for people, that's just like, okay, it's a cult, we now know what we're dealing with, and it's just like, but it's not a cult. It wasn't a cult when I was there. It's not advertised as a cult. The work I did was not cult related. It was to do with spirituality and, you know, evolving yourself mentally to become a better person. That's the whole purpose of what we were doing, and also to try and help as many other people as we can, or get to a stage where we could be ready to do that. So yeah, that doesn't help. But anyway, the cult. So apparently I've been a part of a cult that, you know, preys on the vulnerable, takes advantage of the vulnerable. Now I believe this got made up because there is a member of the organisation that's in a wheelchair. Now what I'm getting is that the people that have made this up have seen this member in a wheelchair, and, you know, with their own views of people in wheelchairs, that's what they've kind of made up. Again, I don't mean to be insulting or upset anyone, but because of your view of people in wheelchairs, whoever made this up, you've now made me out and a lot of other people out to be something that they're not. I've had a lot of people turn up where I am with people in wheelchairs that clearly can't, you know, feed themselves, and yeah, they can't feed themselves, they can't wheel themselves around, they need a lot of support, and they're turning it with people that look like people from the organisation to try and get me to remember the times of when the spiritual organisation has taken advantage of all these people in wheelchairs. Now there's also another sorry, it's really awful. I don't like discussing any of these things because they're not nice, so I'm struggling a little bit. But there's also there's also a rumour that got made up that because the word fetish was used to describe brain patterning, now because people have seen the word fetish, they've assumed that it's sexual fetishes. I just want to kind of go over that a little bit, because sexual fetishes was not discussed at all within the organisation. It wasn't even brought up. And anybody that's into spirituality or goes to spiritual retreats, you know, hooks up with spiritual circles, will know that everybody that is going to a place or a meetup, that they are, you know, they're at a place where they're looking to better themselves in some way, or they're at a place where they're looking to get to the next level, so mastery basically. There's nobody there that has anything like that. Everybody has gone there, you know, for that same purpose, to better themselves, to get to mastery, to you know to become the best person that they can do. Yeah, they're coming. So it got it's a bit dry there. Sorry. So yeah, everybody's gone there to do that. Now, what's been said is that because the word fetish has been used, all these other things to do with sexual fetishes has then been brought up, and I've been tested for it and set up left, right and centre. Like, people look at me and go, oh, she's into all these sexual fetishes because the word fetish has been used. Now, I don't know why the organisation have used the word fetish. They only used it for a couple of months. It was basically, you would get given your patterns basically from your ego of things that you need to look at and clear within your personality. And it would, you know, I gave an example before where the fetish would be OCD, and all your patterns from OCD would then stem from that. Yeah, that's how it was presented to you. I didn't understand the difference between a fetish and a pattern, because to me they're just all patterns. After a couple of months they did stop using that word, and it was just, you just got a load of patterns. So these are all your patterns, and we'd get them, we'd connect and we'd get them, and then we'd vision, you know, where they've played out in our lives, like with family, with friends, like what you're still holding on to and things like that, just so we could really understand them and clear them, so they weren't in our way blocking us from, you know, who we're actually meant to be. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I can explain that anymore, really. But it doesn't seem to be getting across to people. The organisation used the word fetish. I don't know why they used that word. I didn't understand it. In the end, they didn't use it, and it just became, okay, here we go. We're just going to list like patterns from your personality, from your ego, and you know, we're gonna look at that all together or individually, and then we're gonna work on ourselves and better ourselves, and just watch out for them, you know, when we're having conversations, and you know, when we're having our relationship, you know, the relationships that we are with people. And that's pretty much what it was mainly about. I mean, there were other things that we were working on, but yeah, so from that, somebody then, I've had people approach me, and again, it's really awful saying, you know, that the organisation, you know, have a fetish with having sex with people in wheelchairs, all because there's a member that's in a wheelchair. And I'm just like, but that's not the case at all. That doesn't make me feel good at all. That's not what happened, and that's not what that's about. I'm sitting here, and I've been sitting here for years wondering, you know, if that's what's been made up, and you know, your concern is, because there is a massive concern now for me engaging with anybody that is vulnerable. Like every single person that I've engaged with that is vulnerable, I am watched, I'm set up, and I'm tested, and the people that I'm in conversation with get used as a tool to see what I do, because they think I'm going to do something to them. and you know that's never been the case. There was also this thing to do with hypnotism. Apparently I can hypnotise people. No, I can't. And apparently that's what cults do. Well, first of all, they're not a cult. I keep saying that, and that's I've never been taught that. I've never done that, and I'm not really interested in the subject. There was a time where I was interested in researching hypnotism, but I don't think it works. I don't see any point for me doing that. Some people are going to say it does work. I think it does work, but I think, you know, the success rate of it working for me it doesn't interest me. There are other ways, you know, like talking therapy and really just getting to understand yourself a bit more that would work better than hypnotism, you know, if you were using that as some sort of therapy. But certainly to control people with hypnotism, I didn't think was possible. And on the internet it actually states that you can't actually control somebody with hypnotism. So, but then again, I don't know. I've never done it. I've never had it done to me, and I'm not in really, that's about as far as it will go for me with hypnotism, because I'm just not interested. So yeah. Another thing that I wanted to just ask from that, you know, if not you, but if the people that have made that up, you know, are saying that that's what they've done, as far as I'm still aware, that member that's in the wheelchair is still a member, I believe, or was still a member years ago. You know, did anybody ask her if she was okay? You know, seeing as you've assumed, you know, people have assumed that and have made that up, have you spoken to her? Because that would be the first thing that I would do if there was any concern that a group of people might have been taking advantage of somebody in a wheelchair. I mean, like, I'm saying that, yeah, because I don't think that you have spoken to her, and I don't want to upset anyone or be offensive, you know, or offend anyone, but it seems that what you've done is, and I'm sorry to say you, I know that there are other people that are not involved in this, but I feel like I have to speak to these people directly because they've never bothered to have a conversation with me, or anyone else, it seems. It seems that you've just assumed that just because she's in a wheelchair that she can't make decisions for herself and she can't think for herself. That's what's coming across to me. And because of your views on people in wheelchairs, I'm now suffering because of that. Well, I'm not suffering, but I now am not trusted to work with anybody that's classed as vulnerable. I don't see the member of the organisation that's in a wheelchair as vulnerable. I've spent time with her. She's a lovely lady. She's really inspired me in a lot of ways. But yeah, I don't, yeah. And if you haven't spoken to her, you know, even though it's a decade later and you're still testing me for these things, you're still turning up with people in wheelchairs with lookalikes from the organisation, you know, insinuating that, you know, that we're this, we're that, and whatever. Maybe you should go and speak to her, because she can speak for herself. And I would love to be there when you do. I would love to be there when you do speak to her and question her ability and whether she is able to make decisions for herself and think for herself, and to ask her that, you know, just because she, you know, and to insinuate that just because she's in a wheelchair that she's being taken advantage of by everybody around her. I would really like to be there for that conversation, if that conversation was to go ahead, because I'm 100% sure that just like anybody else in a wheelchair, that is more than able to do anything that anyone else can, you know, she's going to give you what for even, you know, looking at her like that, let alone assuming that of her because she's just in a wheelchair. I know you're not going to like that, but like that's how that's coming across to me. Now, if that isn't the case, then please tell me. You know, tell all these other people that you've spread all this crap around about me and her and the organisation. Tell me, tell them, tell me that that's not how that is. But I'm getting that it is like that. So because of your view on how you see people in wheelchairs and your view on spiritual organisations, and because you've misread some things and you haven't clarified your understanding, I now, you know, every person that you class as vulnerable, I can't be anywhere near, otherwise I get questioned, which has actually really upset me, because, you know, it's not been my dream to work with people that, you know, you class as vulnerable. But there have been some people that I've met, you know, especially with learning difficulties, that I have actually really got on with and would quite happily spend my time with. Personally, I'd spend, you know, a couple of times a week with them, or not for anything other than to just be their friend, because we get on, and, you know, and that's it. Like, nothing else, you know, just have a laugh, because there are some people that can't do, you know, that do have to have a carer, and that do have to be looked after by people that don't get a chance to really make friends, that are not, you know, that are not those people that are looking after them. And you can only really have so much of a relationship with your family that look after you all the time, and you can only really have so much. You can only really say so much and have so much of a relationship with your carer, you know. But yeah, because of that, and because, you know, this lady that I got on with that had learning difficulties, you know, was seen as somebody that could be taken advantage of. She got used as a tool while we spent our time together. Like, she would have to say things, and she got told things about me. She never said anything, but, like, you know, I could tell, because of, you know, people do the same, you know, they get people to do the same things and test for the same things. So, and it was just really awful. And I actually added her on Facebook after we'd spent some time together, because that's what I promised. I said that we would be friends. I said that, you know, we could, you know, after our time together, we could meet up and have coffee and have some really nice times together. And yeah, she, because of all the things that, you know, have been said to her, and, you know, she can't, and that's okay. Like, to be honest, with the way things are, I wouldn't really want to waste my precious time with somebody that you know has been told that, and also certainly somebody that has been used as a tool just to see if there's anything that I'm going to do to them. I'm not. That doesn't. I've got to be. You know that. It's. I'm not heartbroken. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like, you know, we could have been friends, and now I can't. I can't be friends because of how somebody has seen. Has just because of, you know, somebody's small-mindedness, somebody's ignorance. Which is annoying, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. Sorry, my legs are a bit dead. But yeah. So, you know, I'm hoping that's not the case with regards to how you see people in wheelchairs, but it kind of seems like it is, and that needs to be cleared up. Also, as well, for those people that are turning up, yeah, with vulnerable people that I can see that really do need a lot of support, that don't really have a choice as to where you put them, yeah, and you're turning up with, you know, looking like people from the organisation in front of me to shove it in my face, to try and remind me of, you know, all the disgusting things that you think might have happened, yeah, please stop turning up. Because, you know, using people that don't have a choice as to where you put them as a tool, I don't particularly like. I really don't. You've had 10 years on this, and you've been doing this for 10 years. A decade, I think. I don't know. Yeah? I know 10 years is a decade. I don't know why I need to say that. But yeah, you've had 10 years on this. You've had all your fun. You've had all your manipulations. You've turned up, done this, done that. I keep telling you that your manipulations don't work, and you're not listening to me. You've had 10 years. Enough is enough. If you keep turning up, right, with people that have no choice but to where you will them, yeah, I'm going to take a picture, right, and I'm going to show people who you are. I'm sorry, I don't know, I shouldn't need to threaten that, but I've had enough. I really have had enough. I'm not like that. They're not like that. You know, if you just take the time just to talk to that lovely lady in a wheelchair, you will actually find out that, you know, it's not like that. She's lived a normal, sorry, that's not quite right. She's lived a life, you know, she's had full mobility most of her life, majority of her life. She's had a amazing life, and she still does. She still just goes about her day like nothing's happened. It was just unfortunate that she got a condition one day, and that's just happened. But yeah, she's amazing. She's really, really lovely, and you know, she can speak for herself. So you know, go and talk to her instead of just standing there from afar, making whatever you like up, ruining lives, because you are. And that's not nice, and you've made me out to be like that, and I don't like that. I'm not like that. I never have been and never will be. Never. Got a bit tense there, didn't it? It's my feet, like I'm just like, if you just talk to me, yeah, we could have this conversation off of YouTube, off of video. Do you know what I mean? But I have to, you know, I'm having to sit here and have these conversations now, and it's just like things need to stop. They really need to, otherwise I'm going to take action. And for those people that are turning up with, you know, with these vulnerable people, with lookalikes from the organisation, all right, I can have an understanding that you think that you're doing something good, but actually you've had 10 years, yeah, you've done it, you've gone to town on it. You don't need to do it anymore. I understand exactly what you're doing, what you're insinuating, and what you're insinuating is wrong. And it's based on what I would say is discrimination. It's discriminative. You just assuming that everyone in a wheelchair just can't think for themselves and can't make decisions for themselves, and then anybody that around them can just take advantage of them. That can happen, but you know, if you actually take the time to speak to people in wheelchairs, I think that you'll find, and I don't know facts and I don't know stats, but I think the majority of people in wheelchairs, you know, are mentally able. They are. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them, just apart from they've, you know, something unfortunate maybe has just happened to them, or they might have been born like that. So please, like, just take the time to speak to people and find out for yourself, because I think that's what the problem is here. You've just assumed that that's what they're like, and that's not right. And because of that, I'm having, you know, they're having to face discrimination every day, and I'm now suffering for that because of, you know, how you think. I hope that's done something. I really do, because yeah. But anyway, we'll see. Next subject. Next I want to talk about being a super secret lesbian. I'm not a super secret lesbian. I don't need to come out of the closet. I like men. Always have liked men. Always will like men, I think. Not just men, like all men at once. Like one man at a time, you know, a relationship. I'm a relationship girl, always have been, I think always will be. Don't like one night stands. I don't. I have to get to know you first. Although I suppose you have to have like a first time, don't you? But yeah, I like to get to know my partners first. to know who they are before doing anything. That's really important to me. So yeah, so there's a lot around this really. So I just want to talk about, there's a picture on my Facebook. There was when my Facebook was active, I think it still is, but yeah. There's a picture on my Facebook of me kissing a girl, yeah, which I'm not going to get rid of, I'm not going to delete, and I'm not going to, you know, I'm not ashamed of that. I've kissed a girl, and I've kissed somebody that is a lesbian. And what? But anyway, that time, right, I'd split up from, my partner split up from me, yeah? I was in a gay bar, and my friend set that up, right? She was a friend of a friend, and she got me to sit on her lap, and we'd all had a drink, and they were there with their camera ready, and yeah, they took a picture. She leant in to kiss me, and I went, oh, so we're doing this, okay, and we kissed, and they took a picture. They were there ready. It was a bit of a joke for them, but yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, just had my first kiss with a girl. It's nice. She's a lovely lady. She's nice. You know, I'm not saying that she's a bad kisser, but after that, I was like, yeah, I definitely like men. I'm 100%, yeah, like, I'm straight, definitely, 100%. Now, that's been seen, okay, and there's a member of the organisation that is a lesbian, right, and there's also a member of the organisation that's gay, okay, and whoever it is that's done this, right, it's just gone to town really. They've let their imagination go wild with what they believe and how they see certain people. And what they've done is they've gone, okay, so, you know, she's kissed a girl, which means she's curious. There's a member of the organisation that's a lesbian, one that's gay, and they're talking and they're saying the word fetish quite a lot, and pretty much basically what they've made up is that all we did all day every day was just have sex with each other. It's not funny. I laugh because I just think, you idiots. I just think, you're kidding me. You are kidding me. This has been going on for ages. So yeah, basically, well, no, it's not just that we've had sex with each other. What's happened is, apparently, is that I've been sexually abused, raped over and over again, not just by the men of the organisation, but also all of the women, just because one member is a lesbian. So everybody there must be, you know, bi or lesbian or whatever, or gay. Which never happened. You know, our organisation was opposite a pub, yeah? We had our doors open all the time. I think they would have had something to say about that. And, you know, the member there that is a lesbian, she never ever stayed there. She visited for a couple of hours and then she left, because, you know, she's got a wife, she's got a child, she's got her own family, and she does all the work, all the spiritual work that we do from home. She was never ever there. So, you know, that's wrong, what you've made up. So since that got made up, I've been inundated with people trying to get me to come to terms with my sexuality of being a lesbian or bi, because, you know, I keep expressing that I'm into men, and they're like, well, she's bi then, she's bi. And because they believe that the women or all members of the organisation have raped me and sexually abused me, that they are trying to get me to remember or come to terms with that. They're trying to make me come to terms. They're trying to make me remember all the abuse that the spiritual organisation have done, and also as well, they genuinely believe that at one point I might have, you know, had a relationship with a woman, possibly associated with drugs, and they're trying to get me to become a lesbian again, to, you know, to remember that, because they think I've forgotten. So yeah, so I've had lots of women do some really, really disgusting things to try and get me to come to terms with being a lesbian. I don't know if I've already said that, sorry. And also as well to do that. Now how they're doing it, right? And again, I don't want to upset anyone, and I don't want to offend anyone, but how I'm going to speak to them directly. How you're doing it, right, is not how lesbians work. Now, I'm not a lesbian, I never have been, and it's not for me. It isn't. But I think I can speak for all lesbians, if not majority of lesbians, that lesbians and gay men, they work in exactly the same way as you know, people that are straight. They're no different. What seems to be assumed is that because I'm a lesbian, that you just think that any woman of any age can do anything sexual in front of me, and I'm just going to be turned on by that, or I'm just going to go, yeah, I remember I'm a lesbian. Which I think is offensive. It's not offensive to me. I mean, it's not nice to experience that, because I'm not a lesbian. But if I was a lesbian, I've been inundated with people coming up to me, and just because you think I'm a lesbian, you think I'm going to be turned on just by anybody doing anything like that in front of me. So I'll just go over a couple of things that, you know, these people have done, or that you've done if you're one of these people that are watching. So I've had a few women actually, purposefully, they do things as I'm like, you know, wherever I am, they just approach me wherever I am and just do all these really awful things. But anyway, I've had a fair few women walk down the street. You know, they know which direction I'm going in, so they'll walk down the street and they'll walk with no bra on, and these women have got massive boobs, and it's just like, you just don't know where to look. Like, that sort of thing just makes me feel uncomfortable. Not because, you know, I've not come to terms with being a lesbian, but just because it's just a bit like, oh, and I think anybody watching this, whether you're straight, you know, gay or lesbian or whatever, anybody, I think that would make anyone feel uncomfortable, somebody purposefully doing that to you. But yeah, they'll walk down and they'll just expect that to do something. And I'm just like, all I can think about is just love, don't run, because, you know, it's sorry, that's probably a bit offensive, but that's all I can think about. Like, I don't think about anything other than Christ Almighty. Like, yeah, it's really uncomfortable. It's not nice. It's not nice that you've insinuated that, but it's also not nice if that genuinely just happened. You know, like, if anyone saw that, you know, some woman, you know, with a see-through top on with no bra on and her boobs were just bouncing everywhere, you just think, gosh, like, where do you look, you know? But for some reason, the people that are doing this think that just because they think I might like women, that that's gonna do something to me, that's gonna do something to my brain, that's gonna make me think, oh yeah, I like women, yeah. No. And I think I can speak for anybody out there that is a lesbian, that they would also feel uncomfortable, and they would also not like that, because lesbians are not like that. They don't just see the person that's the same sex as them doing something sexual and go, oh yeah, like instantly fancy them, instantly want to have sex with them, or instantly be turned on by them. That's not how it works, you know. But you've assumed that, which I think is offensive. I've also had women purposefully, now we're in a changing room, right? Yeah, obviously there are lots of women getting dressed and undressed, but when I'm in the changing room, yeah, there are women that I've had women that have purposefully come in the changing room and do like a striptease in front of me. and it's really, really awkward. I'm just like, what are you doing? It's really, really awkward. You know, I'm fine with it. Like I'm expressing that it's awkward and it's uncomfortable, but actually, do you want to know what? I'm just like, you know what? Get on with it. Whatever. Like, you know, I'm not even going to be fazed by that. But you know, if I'm really honest with myself, it is like, you know, I don't purposely go into the changing room and watch women undress. That's not who I am. I go in, I get on with my stuff and I go, because it's private, it's personal. And there are women that just do strip off. They have no problem stripping off and getting changed. That's fine. You know, you do your own thing. I'm not going to look at you or look at bits. I'm not that way. Yeah, and I've got to say, I think that there are a majority of women that are like that. I'm going to speak for them and say that. If there are not, please tell me. But there are. And I'm going to say this again. You know, for all lesbians, I think that they're going to be exactly the same. If, you know, if somebody is made known, you know, if somebody has expressed that they are a lesbian and you purposefully go up to them and do a striptease for them in front of them, and they have no idea who you are, you've made no connection to them, I'm 100% sure that they're going to feel probably more offended or more upset than I feel when you do it to me. They're going to be like, well, what are you doing? Like, I don't even know who you are. Just because I'm a lesbian, it doesn't mean that I'm going to appreciate any woman taking their clothes off in front of me or doing a striptease and going like this. And I'm just like, what are you doing, love? Like, I'm not saying that women are rank, but I'm just saying that's rank. Like, you don't do that. Like, the only time I'm ever going to accept anyone doing a striptease for me, yeah, is my partner, right? And I have to be honest, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be turned on by that. I'm going to find it funny. And I have had partners that have done like a little bit of a funny striptease for me, you know, before we've, you know, had sex. And I find it funny. It's just a giggle. It's a funny thing that he does and that we do, and I find it funny. I think a lot of women do. Like, you know, I'm sure some women get turned on by it. You know, you have to get to that level with your partner to, you know, get up to that level with your partner to appreciate that. But yeah, I find it funny. But, you know, women doing it in front of me on purpose, you know, and they do a dance as well sometimes when they come in the changing room. I mean, any normal women that go to the gym don't do that when they get changed. They just go in, get changed, you know, do their stuff and come out. But no, I'm having to put up with this, and it's awful. I know you're not going to like that, but it needs to be said, because I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone here. Because, you know, not only does it seem like that there are hundreds of thousands of people that see lesbians like this, but also because of that, you're then doing this to me, and that's not okay. That's not. It's offensive. It's awful. It's not nice. It's uncomfortable. Yeah. If I'm wrong, okay, and you know, lesbians are like that, please let me know. But I'm 100% sure that that's not the case, and that, you know, gay men and lesbians they're no different than anybody that's straight. No different. They work in exactly the same way. There are a small number of straight. I'm hoping that there are a small number, you know, of straight lesbians and gays that will just literally go for anything that moves. I think, you know, that's just a small number, but I'm 100% sure that the majority, you know, it doesn't work like that. But because people think like that, you just assume that because I'm a lesbian that's how it works. Well, it doesn't. I'm not a lesbian, and lesbians are not like that. They don't work like that. Now, I've had also, there was a girl, there's a coffee shop that I go to. Well, I don't go there anymore, but I have to get the bus outside of it. And during work hours, there's a girl there that's a lesbian. During work hours, staff members and management made this girl who's a lesbian come out and bend over in front of me because they think I'm a lesbian and they think that that's what lesbians like. I've got to be honest, yeah, I nearly... She's not an unattractive lady, but that doesn't make me feel very comfortable at all. And it wouldn't make anybody feel uncomfortable, whether they were into women or not. Now, what they've done is that she's a young lady, and it's like, for some reason, they seem to have not only convinced her, but also huge amounts of people that that's what you do if you know that somebody's a lesbian, or if you're trying to get somebody to do that, go over and bend over in front of her. I just want to ask this, yeah, to anybody straight, right, women, not men, but to anybody straight, yeah, that to any women, yeah, any women that are straight, if a man bent over in front of you, like, because you're straight, yeah, is that gonna float your boat? I mean, it might do for some women, and let's just, like, I completely understand the man that's absolutely ripped, you know, and has got it to flash, and, you know, is showing off his stuff. And I think, you know, for a lot of women, that would be like, oh yeah, that's cool, he's got a nice sperm, any, oh yeah. I think that would be, you know, I think, yeah, but I've got to be honest, yeah, if majority of men bend over in front of me, I'm just like, I've never had a man bend over in front of me, and I think a lot of people know that it's not really the sort of thing that women like, and it's not really the sort of thing that you do. But, you know, if you're saying that lesbians are going to like any woman bending over in front of them, and they're going to be sexually turned on by that, and they're gonna, you know, they're hiding the fact that they're a lesbian, and they're going to come to terms with their sexuality, well, then you've really got to apply that to straight people. I completely understand for men that if a woman bend over, then that's what they're like. But for women, I think I can say that, I mean, I don't know, that doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't. And I've got to be honest, I don't think it would do a lot for women. I don't know about other women, but yeah. So yeah, it's just like that whole situation there where she was made to, if you are watching this video, yeah, you need to go and get yourself another job and be around people that treat you with respect, basically. Nobody should be making you come outside of work and purposefully bending over, showing yourself off to me like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's disgusting. You're not disgusting, you know, I'm sure you're a lovely lady, but I don't see women like that. But it's disgusting what you did, and it's disgusting what they put in your head and what they made you do and how they see you. Go and get yourself another job and work with people that treat you with respect. That's what I say. So yeah, it's awkward. Like, it doesn't make me so, like, all these things don't make me, like, so uncomfortable that, you know, that I can't, like, it's affected me psychologically. But I just get on with it. I'm just like, oh, here we go, Christ almighty. You know, here they go again, thinking I'm a lesbian and thinking that this is how lesbians work, and it's not. It needs to stop. It really needs to stop. I'm not a lesbian. I've never had sex with a woman. I don't want to. Not because, you know, not for any other reason. Just because I'm straight. I want to have sex with men. That's it. I'm into men. I've never been sexually abused, ever. Ever. I've never been raped. Never. And I know that there's this rumour going around that I've been hypnotised and been hit over the head, you know, and that's where the scars are from, so I've probably forgotten, and you need to remind me of that. You don't. You've had 10 years on this. You've had 10 years, you've played, you've done your thing. Yeah, it needs to stop now, because it's disgusting. And if it continues, like, I will start doing things, because I've had enough now. It's offensive, and it needs to stop the way that you see, you know, it needs to stop the way that you see lesbians. It needs to stop the way that you see gay men also. You know, I've been around men that have been like, oh, he's gay, he's looking at me, he fancies me, clearly he fancies me, and I'm just sitting there going, you arrogant prick, like, he's not gonna like you. There is no gay man out there that's gonna like anybody that is like that. So just because you're a man, don't even think that he's gonna fancy you. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not what they're like. So yeah, that needs to stop. Like, you know. But anyway, hopefully that might have done something. I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. Next subject. I'm just trying to sort my legs out. Well, it's stopped raining. A little bit. Oh. Ow. Right, so I'm just having a think of how this was going to go. Right, so the next thing I want to talk about is the paedophiles that apparently I am protecting, which don't exist and never have existed. Sorry. Yeah. So apparently there are rumours going around and have been going around since I've been back from the spiritual organisation that you've relabelled as a cult, that they're all paedophiles, not to mention rapists and whatever, which they're not. They never have been. There have never been any children there, and they are well known in their own communities, not within the spiritual organisation, but by their friends, their families, and everybody that knows them. They are not having any issues over there. In the last 10 years, they've managed to live their life as they did before I got there, because nobody thinks these things of them. Everybody knows who they are, and they are not paedophiles. But for some reason, you've labelled them as paedophiles, and because I'm not doing anything about them being paedophiles, you're now not sure whether I'm a paedophile. I don't actually know that. Or, you know, because I'm okay with them being paedophiles and, you know, I'm not doing anything about them, you just seem to think that I'm alright with that, and they're still out there, you know, doing whatever it is that you think that they're doing. And it's just like, that's not true. They never have been paedophiles. If they had, I wouldn't have spent 2 years doing the work that I did with them. But you have made me out to be this person that is like that. There's never ever been any reports. There's never ever been anybody that's even been there for that to happen. Yeah. And it's all because we've discussed paedophilia happening, not just in a past life, but also trying to understand how it happens and why it happens. Not in depth of the actual paedophilia itself, but, you know, through manipulation and control, through something else, you know, that I've been taught about. And we've discussed getting to a level where we want to get it stopped here now, because it's, you know, that's what we wanted to do. That's what I want to do. I want to get a level to see if I can get it stopped. And whoever's made this up, you've twisted that and turned that around, and now, you know, there are still times where I am tested with kids. It's awful. And, you know, labelling somebody a paedophile or knowing or thinking that somebody has been involved in something like that or associated with people like that, you know, in their reputation, like, people don't come back from that. And in 10 years, you seem to have kept this going. And there is nothing to support it, other than you've misread some things. But what seems to be happening is that now I'm angry with people, and I'm angry at them all for not stepping in here all these years and putting things out on the internet to give you a better understanding of what it is that they're about, who it is that they are, you know, giving you an understanding and putting things out there that can help you understand what you might have misread. They should have done that. They also should be approaching government organisations that have been involved in spreading these awful things, not just about them, but about me, because none of it's true. They can sue for that, and they should have done, or they should have at least, you know, threatened to, you know, to get it stopped, to get these rumours stopped. But they don't care. They don't care. They've been living their lives stress-free, without any crap from anybody, because everybody in Australia knows who they are. They have no issues over there. But I'm the one, because of how you see them, and because of what you've misread, and because of what somebody's made up, I've been suffering because of how you see them. You take all your crap out on me because you believe that I should be doing something about them, and I'm not doing it. So I'm the one that's suffering, and has suffered all these years, right? Not just with my reputation, but with my health, because of how they've presented themselves, basically, which they need to rectify. They do. They need to rectify. They need to put out. They need to admit that, you know, how they've, you know, how they've presented themselves to the world, yeah, and how it's been so easy for people to, you know, read what they've read and get it wrong. They should be rectifying that. They should be putting something out there to say, you know, it's not like that. This is actually what it means. This is what it is. This is what we're trying to achieve, and this is what we're trying to do. This is not who we are, and this is not who she is. But they haven't done that. I don't have the support from any of them. They don't care. I've even gone back to them and said, look, you know, I'm being attacked every day, and it's with radiation, and my health is suffering. Like, I'm struggling. Because they're expecting me to go to the police about you because of what they've read, because of what you've put out. They don't care. They don't care. They're living their lives. They're getting on with their lives. They've been able to keep their friends, their families, have their careers. I've lost everything. I'm now not trusted with anybody. I can't work with anybody. I want to work with communities. That's not going to be possible now. Well, it can be, but I'm going to be watched. You know, it can be, but, you know, I'll be watched, tested, set up, just like I am every day. And it's awful. But it's just like, you know, for those people that are taking it out on me, what you think about them, right, the organisation, why don't you take it out on, I'm not trying to redirect all the harm that you're doing to me, but why are they not suffering for who you think they are? Why? Why are you taking it out on me? I'm a bit cold, sorry. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. You think this, that and that about them, and you're taking it out on me and expecting me to do things, and I can't, because they're not like that. I don't have anything on them, and if I did, they would be in prison. They would. I would do everything in my power to make sure that they go away for a very, very long time. Yeah? But I don't, they're not like that. They never have been. I don't have anything on them. But seeing as you think that they are paedophiles and rapists and, you know, abusers, well, okay. If you do, then tell me about it, and I will support you and help you in any way that I can, because I know exactly what they're like. I can, you know, probably help with that, but I've got to be honest, yeah, I think it's just, you've misread some things, haven't understood some things, and you've just seen a couple of things, and you've just made some stuff up. I don't think you have anything, because otherwise I think they'd be in prison by now. So, you know, what the F? Like, what's going on with this? Because it's been 10 years and I haven't done anything. They haven't done anything. They're still getting to live their normal life. They don't care about me. I've been left in the lurch I've been left alone to deal with this. I'm trying to fix this. I can't fix it because you're not listening to me. You won't talk to me. So what do we do from here? Because I've had enough. I've had enough. I want my life back. You've taken everything from me because of what you think, and because they've not stepped in to help the situation by talking to you themselves, or even putting stuff out on the internet to explain really themselves and why they've, you know, why they've presented themselves like that. I don't know, you know, why they presented themselves the way that they did, so you got confused. I have emails from 2012 telling them, yeah, that they can't just put stuff, the things that they're putting out on the internet, because people don't understand what that is about. They're going to get confused. They're not interested in learning about what we do. Yeah, they're just going to read that and go, oh yeah, they're this, oh yeah, they're that, which is exactly what has happened. But they don't care. They don't care that I've had to suffer for this, that I've lost out on everything, that I can't make friends, I can't date because of what people think about me. I can't get a job and be trusted because of all this crap that has been made up, partly because of all this crap that has been made up. The other stuff is about the gangs, which, you know, I have witnesses for, but for some reason, and my family, but for some reason, nobody seems to care. Nobody wants to step in and say, actually, she's telling the truth. Nobody wants to do that. I'm just left stuck here, taking your crap every day, all day, and I've done that for years, and you're not stopping, and I don't know what to do about that. So I'm doing this, and you don't like that, and it's just like, well, have a conversation with me about it then, so I don't have to do this. But you won't. You just carry on. And I gotta be honest, yeah, I'm hoping that it will stop, but I don't think it will. So, you know, this is now going to be my life until my body can't take any more, which is murder. And no one cares. No one cares. You know, you're turning up all day, every day with people with bald heads. It means nothing to me because they're not who you say that they are. Oh, she needs to remember, she's forgotten. No, I don't. I don't have a memory issue. Oh, she's forgotten, she forgets after 6 weeks. No, I don't. No, I remember everything. I can relay every single play, every single setup, every single thing that every single one of you have done. I don't forget. Yeah, I haven't had anything happen to me that has made me forget. I don't know who has made this up, but it's ridiculous. But I'm suffering because of everyone else. I'm suffering because nobody cares. I'm suffering because no one else will step in and tell you. I'm having to sit here by myself and do these videos, which has taken me years to get to the point to be able to do. I'm exhausted, man. I've just fucking... Sorry, didn't mean to swear. But yeah, it's... I'm exhausted. All day, every day. You do this, you turn up and you're like, oh yeah, let's manipulate her to do this, she needs to see that, she needs to see bald people here, she needs to see bald people everywhere. And it's just like, I don't, because they haven't done anything like that. I haven't forgotten what they've done either. They haven't done anything, and if I had anything, they would be where they should be. And I don't know how else to get that across to you. I don't. But yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird that I'm taking all this crap because of how you see them. I've lost out on everything, you know, that you all take for granted every day. You know, having a job, you know, being trusted in your employment, having friends, you know, being able to do things, go out for dinner. I'm not welcome anywhere. I'm not welcome in any pub, any restaurant, anywhere. Every time I go into any building, yeah, you know, staff members are trying to get me out after 10 minutes. Because they just don't want me in there. Well, I'm not surprised, but, you know, I've done nothing wrong, and I continue to do nothing wrong, and I've shown you that. And if it's been 10 years, yeah, right, and you've had that, yeah, and this still ain't enough for you, and it's still ain't enough for you, you know, for me to prove to you every day that I'm not who you or they say that I am. I mean, how long are you going to need? If 10 years ain't enough, if 10 years ain't enough, how much longer are you going to need to set me up and test me and to say more things about me? I don't know how you can say more things about me. I don't know how you're getting away with it. Why are people believing you? There's been nothing. There's been nothing to support any of the things that have been said. So I've just got to sit here and wait. Keep putting out these videos and wait. Keep hoping that it makes a difference. And now I'm not stopping. I'm not going to stop doing this. You don't talk to me, I'm just going to talk to you through YouTube. Yeah? If you're not going to stop, I'm going to continue to talk about it. Because that's all I can do now. Like, I've waited. I've waited for you all, yeah, to do your games, your setups, your lies and your manipulations and whatever. I've waited for you to come to your own conclusion by yourself, that after all these years of doing this, that I was hoping that you would just go, you know, we've done this now, we've done it all, we've tested her in every single way that we could have done. You know, maybe it's not true, maybe she is telling the truth, maybe, just maybe, we should like not do it anymore because it's clearly not worked. I was hoping that you would come to that by yourself, but no one has. You just carry on, and it just gets worse. And I don't know what to do other than this. So, you know, please help me out. I don't want to do videos like this. I want to do fun videos. I want to do videos about other things. But right now, I'm being targeted and attacked every day because of the person that other people have made me out to be, which is not true. That needs to be fixed. And I'm not stopping until it is. Because I've had enough. It's not right. It's not fair. I want my life back. It's stopped raining now, so I'm gonna get on with my day. Hope they're a bit easier on me today. I hope you're a bit easier on me today. You know, yesterday it was just like, it was a bit easier in some places, but you know, it's still everywhere I go. So yeah, I hope. But for those people that haven't been involved in this and have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm really, you know, I really am grateful that you came to my channel. This is not what I want my channel to be about. I want it to be about other things, but at the moment this needs fixing, so, you know, bear with, stick around, and I'll be able to make better fun videos that are more suited to who I am, rather than trying to sort out this crap that has just ruined my life, really. But thank you to everybody that has watched. If you have been involved and you do know what I'm talking about, thank you so much for watching until the end. I really hope that you're taking it in. I really hope that you're acknowledging and listening, and you know, I really hope that there's a good positive solution that comes out of this. You know, I didn't want to upset or offend anybody in this video, but you know, these things did need to have been said, and I hope I've said them in the right way. I don't know, and I'm sorry if I have upset anyone or offended anyone. That's not my intention. We're back. Yeah, and I do apologise if I haven't quite said things correctly or right. Yeah, I am. I don't know. I am. Thank you. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of the day is, I I do hope that you have a good day, or a good evening, or a good night's sleep, or a good morning, or a good afternoon. Thank you.